Hey guys, what's up? Here is Max. If there's one thing that Dragon Ball unfortunately does a lot, it's wasting characters with great talent and potential. And among so many characters in the franchise that are completely wasted, perhaps the ones with the most potential are Goten and Trunks. But what would the story of Dragon Ball be like if Goten and Trunks never stopped training? That's what I'd like to talk about in this video. Stay connected to the channel and let's go to the video.
Hakai.
Guys, just a warning, this is the type of video that is made to be a series. That is, our initial intention in bringing this video to you is that it has a continuation. But for this story to continue, we have to know if you enjoyed the story. And the only way for us to know that is if you like the video. If this topic interests you, leave a like now at the beginning of the video so you don't forget later. And if this video reaches the goal of 1,000 likes, we'll bring you part 2 as soon as possible. Now that I've said that, let's talk a little bit about Goten and Trunks. Like I said, the Dragon Ball writers are real experts at excluding characters who have great potential from the story, and I think they do that a lot mainly to keep Goku and Vegeta as protagonists. We see all the time characters that could be extremely useful being completely wasted in the plot. An example that everyone talks about is Gohan, who in the past was the Z-Warrior with the greatest potential, but who was often completely useless in the plot. Another good example is Majin Buu, who despite not currently being that powerful by Dragon Ball Z Super standards, has extremely useful skills that could help the heroes a lot, but he's almost always discarded. And of course we have Goten and Trunks, the protagonists of this video. And well, if you think Gohan has great potential, it's because you didn't pay attention to the potential of Goten and Trunks, who even when they were children under 10 years old, were already capable of transforming into Super Saiyans and fight opponents like Android 18. In the Majin Buu saga, Goten and Trunks were hundreds of times more powerful than Gohan was at their age, and were the youngest Saiyans in the series to become Super Saiyans. But unfortunately, the same thing happened to them that happened to Gohan. Goten and Trunks never took their training seriously, and so they didn't evolve as they should have. But what if things were different? What if Goten and Trunks decided to train the same way as Goku and Vegeta? How powerful would they be? What would they change in Dragon Ball's plot? I'll tell you about it. But before I tell you what the story of Dragon Ball would be like if Goten and Trunks hadn't stopped training, I want to say that in Dragon Ball Hakai, these two characters will definitely play a big role too. But to show you how Goten and Trunks will help Goku, God of Destruction, fight the enemies of the multiverse, I need you to help us get back to producing the manga. And you can do that through our Patreon with a very small price. From an amount that you can definitely pay, you will be helping us to return with the production of the Dragon Ball Hakai manga, in addition to receiving some benefits here on the channel. The link to our Patreon is in the video description. Go check it out later. As we know, Goten and Trunks had their first relevant participation in the Majin Buu saga, which was when they first appeared. In that saga, they showed great potential, much greater than Goku, Vegeta, and even Gohan. But even with the fusion, they weren't able to defeat Majin Buu. In this saga, things couldn't be any different for them, so we're going to consider all the events of the Majin Buu saga exactly as they happened. In the time skip between the Majin Buu saga and the Beerus saga, Goten and Trunks didn't train much in the original story, or at least the series never mentioned it. But let's assume they had trained hard during that time. What would have happened differently in that arc? Goten and Trunks would definitely be much stronger, but they would definitely still be inferior to Vegeta. And we saw what Beerus did to Vegeta, so even if they greatly increased their power, it still wouldn't be relevant to Beerus. Even after using the fusion, Goten and Trunks would still not be a challenge to the God of Destruction, and Goten would be humiliatingly defeated by the Hakaishin just like he was in the original story. The events of the Beerus saga would happen normally with Goku returning, transforming into a Super Saiyan and being defeated by the Hakaishin. After that, more time would pass and Goten and Trunks would continue to train hard, now even more motivated by their desire to surpass the level of the gods. Earth's peace would not last long as Frieza would attack the planet with his army. In this attack, Goten and Trunks would definitely fight since they weren't training for nothing. And considering how easily they achieved Super Saiyan, I think it wouldn't be too far-fetched to conclude that at this point in the story, they would already be able to transform into Super Saiyan 2, right? Well, I guess considering that Goten and Trunks are training a lot, and that they can reach Super Saiyan 2, we can say that they would be stronger than Gohan at that point, since Gohan was barely able to maintain Super Saiyan 2. So I guess we can say that at that moment, Goten and Trunks would be the most powerful warriors facing Frieza's soldiers. In the original story, they arrived at the battle by surprise as Gotenks and landed a very cruel blow on Tagoma. But in this hypothetical plot, I believe that they would already be in battle and would not fuse at first. Assuming Goten and Trunks were stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, they would be able to defeat Tagoma, especially if they fought together. If they defeated Tagoma, Frieza would likely interfere as he did in the original story with Gohan. But unlike Gohan, who was untrained, Goten and Trunks would probably be smarter and not get hit so easily by Frieza. In that case, their next battle after defeating Frieza's strongest subordinate would be against the Emperor of the Universe himself. How would a battle between Goten and Trunks against Frieza be in Dragon Ball Super? Find out in the next part. Well, this is where I end this story today, but if you want to see a sequel, make this video reach the goal of 1,000 likes and I'll bring you the next part, ASAP, telling you how the Golden Frieza saga would end considering the intervention by Goten and Trunks, and also how their participation in the tournament between Universe 6 and 7 would be. I'm counting on your likes, guys, and also your collaboration on our Patreon to bring Dragon Ball Hakai back. Until the next time, goodbye.